Chile, you now have the floor.
Greetings, most honorable chair, distinguished delegates. The delegate of Chile is quite concerned about the topic on the program sites and the trade of endangered species. Delegates, the endangered species in this world are losing their abilities to make offsprings for their next generation. Slowly, these species are being traded internationally and sometimes illegally.
Honorable chairs and distinguished delegates, it is clear to the world that global warming is a serious issue that affects all nations. The type of energy we use is important to this issue. The delegate Lebanon thinks that it is necessary to drop the amount of pollution we made and suggests that making more devices for renewable energy and laws for a total percent of energy could be generated from non-renewable sources to drop down the amount of pollution. The delegate Lebanon is honored to attend this meeting and is looking forward to have a great discussion during these 2 days. Thank you.
The role in solving Sudan's issue. If the WHO works more efficiently, this issue will soon be solved. Sudan is hoping to eradicate hunger and extreme poverty by 2015. Finally, the delegate of Sudan hopes for a fruitful debate and well-rounded resolution to be passed. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate.
Or is there someone that knows about the reso that I can like, you guys go. Can I?
Take your time. Take only 10 minutes.
As we stay within our own territory for our own military training and have not invaded North Korea territory in any way at all. Thank you.
So you guys have like one issue to do in one day?
Honorable chairs, distinguished delegates, the delegate of Lebanon would like to reinforce and continue off of the delegate of China's speech as enforcing and urging this entire council to vote for this resolution as it provides humanitarian aid for those in desperate need of such aid in the Gaza Strip. The Israeli Air Force has blatantly violated international law and denied such aid to those in need. And Lebanon will not stand for that.
Well, member nations in maintaining the existence of endangered species and the implementation of measures acting under the regulation set forth by the sites such as Subclause A, limiting the trade of endangered species within member nations. Clause 2 calls for the Security Council to impose economic sanctions on countries that neglect the issue of the illegal trade of endangered species.
Pertaining to my speech. The delegate has opened himself to 3 points of information pertaining to his speech. Are there any on the floor? Delegates of Philippines and Brazil and Afghanistan, in that order.
But only in Security Council. Also in Clause 5, Subclause B, it also calls for sanctions on member states who does not comply. For Clause 6, it's simply useless because people who kill people with guns would almost definitely be aware of their consequences. Okay. For their tracking devices, EMP can simply just wipe out the use of the tracking devices. Thank you.
Thank you, delegate. Please take your seat.
Practice of community and permanent seats of indigenous representatives. It is important to increase the number of indigenous people which combine the knowledge of the traditional methods of indigenous people and Western science. Also, women should be taken into account because this attains the gender equality. Also, they can provide a significant solution for the environmental problems.
Thank you, Delegate. Is Doug open to any points of information
pertaining to his speech?
The delegate has opened herself to 1 point of information pertaining to her speech. Are there any points?
Columbia, who have been recognized.
Then we can have one of the So this delegate urges this council to once again take into consideration of all those living in poverty, living in dire conditions, looking for humanitarian aid while blocked out by the selfish and inconsiderate Israeli Air Force, claiming to be protecting their own national sovereignty, whereas indeed they are not.
Thank you, Delegate. Is the delegate open to points of information?
Any opportunity to my speech.
I wish that you'll continue on with the success that you have achieved at this Taimun conference and continue making a difference in your future conferences. I wish you all the best.
Committee on Sustainable Development. I have to say, Michelle and I are both really impressed with the delegates' ability and furious lobbying and coming up with a total of 3 detailed resolutions ready to be debated. Today, a total of 2 resolutions got passed. 1 on each issue. Delegates, thank you for making this year's Taimun an enjoyable one for me.
And thank you for making my last Taimun conference in my high school.
You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. Can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. You can't take a shower in a parakeet cage. You can't take a shower in a parakeet cage. Can't take